A dangerous game hunt in Africa is actually a very unique hunt. You're hunting creatures that are dangerous to be around under normal circumstances, but become extremely dangerous when they're wounded. Most professional hunters, trackers, and clients that get killed in Africa are actually done in by wounded animals. Because of this, you only have one real job as the client hunter on an Africa hunt: to fatally wound that animal with your initial shots. Really, the safety of the entire hunting party as a whole and the success of the overall hunt hinges on your first shot. Most experienced dangerous game hunters have a practice routine that they follow just prior to going on their hunt. In this video, I'll show you my pre-trip practice routine before I go on a dangerous game hunt. I call it the DAGGA boy drill, and it's served me well over the years. In my opinion, you should practice a simulation of a real dangerous game hunt while you're practicing. Most people either spend too much time shooting from some type of supported position, or they get burned out from shooting big cartridges, just too much overall. That kind of practice is a waste of time, and honestly, it's a waste of money. You can easily get burned out and recoil sensitive if you shoot your dangerous game rifle too much. Trust me, there is a point of diminishing returns when you practice too much with your 458 lot or your 505 Gibbs. Dangerous game ammo is also exceedingly expensive to shoot. I've seen people blow $500 in 416 Rigby ammo in one trip to the shooting range, and you just don't have to do that. Actual practice doesn't start though until you finish your load development and you properly zero your rifle. Once that's done though, it's time to do real practice sessions. The most important time to practice for your hunt, for your dangerous game hunt, is in the last month before you actually leave for Africa. So the hunt becomes an extension of your training. The DAGGA boy drill starts exactly like your hunt starts. When you show up to any hunting camp in Africa, your professional hunter will ask you to verify the zero on your rifle by shooting a shot or two from some type of supported position. And this is exactly how you should start your practice session. Shoot from a bench with a rest, or off a pack on the hood of your truck, or, just a simple setup like this. All you're doing here is putting carefully aimed shots in the bullseye from a supported position. Put one or two shots in the bullseye just like you would when you verify zero in camp. And after that, relax for a while and let the rifle cool down. After you're done verifying your zero, put all of your hunting gear on that you would physically wear during the hunt. Put your ammunition belt on and wear the hat and sunglasses that you're gonna, the type of hat and sunglasses that you're gonna wear during your hunt once you arrive in Africa. Also, if you have binoculars hanging anywhere on you, wear those too. Your gear can get in the way when you're trying to present the rifle and when you're trying to access your ammunition in a hurry. And you have to figure all of this out during practice. You don't want to go to Africa, gear up, go on your hunt, and then find out that your binocular harness blocks your access to your ammunition belt, or other things you have on you impede your ability to hunt. After getting all your hunting gear on, now it's time to get your shooting sticks ready. 99% of the time while you're hunting in Africa, your first shot will be off of shooting sticks. It's also best to know what kind of sticks that your professional hunter is going to use and practice with something similar. When you talk to your PH before the hunt, always ask him what type of shooting sticks he uses, because using these tripod style sticks and using European quad sticks takes two completely different skill sets. Pick a safe spot to do all of your shooting from during practice. If you're on an established gun range, your choices are pretty limited to what the range allows and the space you have. If you're practicing on public land like I am right now, your options are a lot more flexible for running, specific drills. The first thing you want to do is set up a target downrange that has a bold target area on it. We're not shooting little tiny groups here. You want a bold target that you could see at low magnification. The distance to that target should simulate the likely distance of your first shot on dangerous game. If you're hunting buffalo in a place like coastal Mozambique, your first shot will likely be 100 yards, maybe a little bit more. If you're hunting in places like the Zambezi Valley or the Selous, your first shot will likely be under 50 yards. I like to hunt in the really thick stuff, that thick Jess, so I set up my target at 50 yards. So set up your shooting sticks according to your predetermined distance away from the target. After this, load your rifle up, put the safety on, and make sure the magnification on your scope is at its lowest settings. When we're dangerous game hunting, we're always walking around with our scope on its lowest setting. During the actual hunt, your professional hunter is going to set up the sticks for you, or maybe one of his trackers will. So you should mentally pretend that your PH set up the sticks for you and told you to get on them and get ready for a shot. It's important when you run this drill to mentally pretend that you're conducting a real hunt. Trust me, this visualization really helps. With everything ready, set up about 10 yards away from the sticks and kind of start walking towards them. And when you're a couple of yards away, pretend that your professional hunter spotted an old DAGGA boy and wants you to shoot it. Remember, you never shoot an animal unless your PH tells you to do so. So quickly get on the sticks, and remember, you got a sling on here, so you're going to clear the sling around the sticks. And if you need to turn the magnification up on your scope to better find the target, go ahead and do that at this time. Once you get the proper sight picture, turn the safety off, confirm that you're allowed to shoot, and with proper trigger control, make a very precise shot on the target. Immediately after the shot, remove the rifle from the sticks, being sure to clear the sling, run the bolt, and get back on target for a follow-up shot. Then you're going to open the bolt, reload your magazine with ammunition, close the bolt, re-engage the safety, and turn your scope magnification back down to its lowest setting. Once you walk down range, you're going to inspect that target to see how you did. After round one, rest for about a half hour, then run this drill again one more time after that. After that, you're pretty much done shooting your dangerous game rifle for the day. Go home and reflect. Okay, and this is the results of the DAGGA Boy drill I ran today. And you could see these are the first shots, and pretty much we're Winnie zeroed right now with a 400 grain Swift A-frame. And these were my offhand shots here, the second shot. And you can see on a buffalo, these are probably kill shots as well. I mean, they're not too far out of the target zone, but just goes that when you shoot offhand at 50 yards under stress, you know, a little bit hurried on a fleeing animal. I mean, this is kind of the accuracy range you can kind of expect here. You can see these were my first shots off the sticks, the carefully aimed shots. I was aiming at the center of the bullseye, and I believe this load does shoot a half-inch high. That's what you can expect. When you first shoot offhand, though, this second shot, I mean, it could be all over the place. It could even miss the paper entirely, and that's when you start slowing down and, you know, going through your breathing, your trigger control, all your rifle fundamentals to shrink this back down. And then, you know, when you get it down to a certain point, you can speed back up again. And this second offhand shot is kind of a careful balance between speed and precision. Now, remember, I told you earlier that practicing on these shooting sticks is extremely important. Everybody has different preferences and different techniques for shooting off sticks that kind of works out the best for their individual body and shooting style. For me, I don't like putting my sling in the saddle of the sticks. I like clearing the sticks and dropping my sling in there. This does two things. It takes the sling out of the equation for maybe throwing off a shot, and it keeps the swivel stud and everything clear from recoil of hitting the sticks themselves. Also, I don't like shooting off of sticks in kind of this free recoil position right here. You get a lot of muzzle rise, and when you start shooting lightweight, big kicking hunting rifles, it really gets hard to control. So I always control the rifle when I'm shooting off of sticks. I like to grasp the rifle back here. That way, if recoil brings me back, my hand's not going to hit anything. I put a downward and rearward pressure on the stock with this hand. Some people like to go around the front and grab the front of the stock. I don't like doing that because I feel like during recoil, you know, it brings your hand back into the sticks, and that could either throw off the shot or hurt your hand. And some people do this nonsense when they shoot off of sticks, but I don't think that's very conductive to accuracy, so I don't do that. Although some people prefer that, and you might prefer that. But I like to grab the stock behind the sticks when I'm shooting off of them. And remember, when you're done with your shot, remember not to yank backwards because your sticks are there. You have to clear the sticks, your sling around those sticks. So just something to be mindful of. And this is why practice is very important before you even get on that plane and head to Africa. So as you saw in this video, to run this drill, you fired 2 shots on the bench to verify your zero. And that's kind of to simulate when you first get into camp and you're verifying the zero on your gun. Then you're going to fire 4 shots during 2 rounds of the actual drill itself. So in one practice session, you fire a total of 6 rounds. If you run this drill once a week for 5 weeks before your hunt, you're only going to shoot 30 times, which isn't that expensive. Another good part about this drill is you can run it anytime in your backyard or your home, dry firing. You know, of course, make sure the firearm's properly cleared before you do that. And if you want to work on it with live ammunition, you can also use a lesser caliber rifle, something like a .308 or a .243, and you can practice with that. Just make sure the rifle platform that you're practicing with is exactly the same as your dangerous game rifle. I usually hunt dangerous game with the Winchester Model 70 Winnie, and I have dozens of Model 70s chambered in different cartridges. So I have a lot of uniformity across the Model 70 platform for training. So that also helps out a lot. But in addition to improving marksmanship skills and becoming more familiar with your rifle, the DAGGA drill also lets you get your equipment sorted out before the hunt. It helps you find the right position to carry your ammunition for reloads, and it teaches you to clear your sling around the sticks. You might even find out that, the hat that you're wearing gets in the way while you're shooting, and you might have to change some of your wardrobe because of that. Or you might find that your binoculars block access to your ammunition for reloads. The more you run this drill, the better you're going to get and the more you're going to figure your gear out. And the best part about running the DAGGA drill is that, like I stated earlier, you can run it during dry fire practice to perfect the fundamentals of the drill without using up expensive ammunition or beating yourself up with recoil. I want to conclude by stating that marksmanship is an acquired skill, and it's something that it's a skill that you have to maintain through practice or you lose it. I'm warning the new dangerous game hunters out there, when you first take an offhand shot at the bullseye of that target under stress, it probably isn't going to be pretty. So go slow at first and gradually build up the speed of the drill as you get better. It's more important to hit the target than it is to go fast. So keep that in mind. I also recommend that you set up a camera on a tripod and you record yourself doing the drill. Sure, you might look like Uncle Rigo out there on the range, but trust me, it's the best way to self-evaluate your performance, find mistakes, and correct them. I've fine-tuned my drill over the years to make it more efficient for me, but you can tweak this drill to make it better for you or more comfortable for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick video about how I practice leading up to a dangerous game hunt. Many of you are headed off to Africa in the coming months, so the timing of this video was deliberate. Practicing with your rifle and gear is an important part of the hunt, so make sure you do it. Thank you for watching, and as always, good hunting.